I kept staring at the empty chair across from me, trying to convince myself she was just running late. "It's fine," I whispered to the waiter when he approached for the third time. "She's on her way." He nodded and walked off, and I let out a breath I'd been holding for too long. My birthday. Of all nights, this was the one night I thought Emily would never forget. I checked my phone again. No messages. No missed calls. Nothing. I finally called her. Straight to voicemail. "Hey, it's me," I said quietly. "I'm at the restaurant. Just checking if everything's okay." I hung up and set my phone down, trying not to look at the small birthday cake sitting in the middle of the table. The frosting was starting to tilt. I pushed it back into place. My phone buzzed, and I felt a spark of hope, only to see Ryan's name flash across the screen. I answered. "Yeah." "Noah," he said, "don't tell me you're still waiting there." "I am." I tried to laugh, but it came out rough. "Maybe she got caught in traffic." "Dude, you said that an hour ago. Did she text at all?" "Not yet." There was a long pause on the line. Then Ryan said, "Something feels off." I swallowed. "Don't say that. I'm not trying to start anything, man. But Emily never forgets stuff like this. Even I know that." "I know," I whispered. "That's why I'm confused. Want me to come over there?" "No, I'm fine. I'll wait a little longer. Call me if she doesn't show." "Yeah." I hung up and slumped back in my seat. I tried to distract myself by looking around. Couples laughing. Families celebrating. Even the waiter looked like he felt sorry for me. 30 more minutes passed. I stared at my phone like I could force it to ring. Still nothing. "Okay," I muttered. "I guess I get it." I paid the bill, left the untouched cake on the table, and walked out into the cold night air. My chest felt heavy, and every breath hurt more than the last. I started walking home, even though the restaurant was a long way from our place. Halfway there, Ryan called again. "Did she show up?" "No. No, man. I'm not in the mood for pity. I'm not pitying you. I'm pissed for you." "It's fine," I said, even though it wasn't. "Maybe she has a good reason." "Then why didn't she call?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. My silence said enough. "Look," he said, "just check her social media. Maybe she posted something at work, or whatever." "I don't want to do that." "Then I'll check." "No," I cut him off. "I'll do it." My hand shook as I opened the app. I scrolled for a few seconds, hoping I wouldn't find anything. But I did. A photo of Emily, smiling, dressed up, wine glass in her hand. Her caption said, "Perfect dinner tonight." My stomach dropped so fast I felt dizzy. I zoomed in on the picture. She wasn't alone. Sitting beside her was a man I recognized only from a work event. Michael, her boss. I pressed the phone to my ear. "Ryan." "Yeah." "She's having dinner." "With who?" "Her boss." "What? What the hell?" She captioned it, "Perfect dinner." "On my birthday." "Noah, come on, man. That's not okay." I didn't reply. My throat closed up and my eyes burned. I had no idea if this was betrayal or just the worst coincidence of my life. But either way, it felt like something inside me cracked. "Noah," Ryan said softly, "go home. I'm coming over." "No," I said. "I need time." "To do what?" "I don't know. Think. Or maybe break." I wasn't sure. I ended the call and kept walking. Everything around me looked blurry, like the world had gone out of focus. Streetlights, passing cars, people laughing from open restaurant doors. It all felt distant, like I wasn't even part of it. When I reached our apartment, I stood in front of the door for a long time before unlocking it. The place was dark, quiet, cold. I whispered, "Happy birthday" to me, and the words sounded so small they barely felt real. I sat on the couch and stared at the wall until my phone lit up with a new notification. Emily had posted another picture. Her and Michael, smiling wider this time. I didn't click it. I didn't need to. For the first time in my marriage, I felt like a ghost in my own life. Unseen, forgotten, and painfully alone. I woke up to the sound of dishes clinking in the kitchen. "Emily," I called. "Can we talk?" "Now." She stepped out with a mug of coffee. "Morning. What's wrong? Where were you last night?" She blinked. "Work. Emergency meeting. Big project. I told you we were behind." "You didn't tell me anything," I said. "You didn't even text." Her jaw tightened. "My phone died. Everything was chaotic. I'm sorry, okay?" "Emily," I said, pulling out my phone, "is this your definition of chaotic?" I turned the screen toward her. Her smile in the photo. The wine. Michael beside her. Her face drained. Noah, it's not what it looks like. So what is it? Just business, she whispered. Dinner with Michael to discuss the project. That's all. On my birthday? She flinched. I know. I messed up. But it wasn't personal. It felt personal. She rubbed her forehead. Look, I should have told you. I panicked. I didn't want you to think anything weird. But there is something weird, I said. Your voice shakes when you lie. I'm not lying. Then why did you look terrified when you saw the photo? She didn't answer. She just said, Please, Noah, can we not fight before work? I stared at her. Fine, but this isn't over. At work, my head felt heavy. I sat at my desk, tapping my pen until Ryan appeared beside me. You look awful, he said. What happened? She lied, I muttered. You were right. Something's off. What did she say? Emergency meeting. Phone died. Business dinner. I shook my head. Her story didn't match her face. Follow your instincts, Ryan said. Not her excuses. I don't want to be paranoid. Noah, she posted that picture right when you were alone with the cake. That's not normal. I leaned back. What if I'm overthinking? What if she really was stressed? Ryan raised an eyebrow. Then why didn't she call you? I didn't have an answer. Around noon, I stepped outside for air. That's when I heard someone say my name. Noah. I turned. It was Ava, one of Emily's coworkers. Hey, she said, shifting nervously. Can I ask something? Sure. Is everything okay with Emily? She seemed off today. My chest tightened. She didn't say anything to you? No, Ava said. But she was whispering with Michael this morning. They stopped when I walked by. My stomach twisted. Did she look upset? More like guilty. I stared at the ground. Thanks for telling me. I'm not trying to start drama, she said. You deserve honesty. As she walked away, I felt a cold weight settle in my chest. I whispered, what else have I missed? The thought chased me for the rest of the day. When I got home that evening, Emily was sitting on the couch, hands folded, eyes red. We need to talk, she said. Yeah, I replied. We do. I didn't want to ruin your birthday, she said. I swear I didn't. Then why didn't you show up? Because I felt pressured, she whispered. Michael wanted me there. I couldn't say no. You could always say no, I said. You just didn't want to. She covered her face. It wasn't like that. Then tell me what it was. Silence filled the room. Noah, she finally said, I'm trying. Please don't give up on me. I stared at her, feeling something inside me shift. I'm not giving up, I said, but I'm not blind anymore. She lowered her hands. So what happens now? I watch, I said. I listen. I pay attention to things I ignored before. You think I'm hiding something? I think you're not telling me everything. I'm scared, she whispered. I don't want to lose you. Then be honest with me, I said. All of it. Not half. She nodded slowly. Okay. I stood up. I'm going to bed. We'll talk tomorrow. I felt the house grow colder every night, even when every light was on. I walked into the living room and said, Emily, can we talk for a minute? She didn't look up from her laptop. About what? She asked. Just us, I said. Things feel strange lately. She snapped her laptop shut. Why do you keep acting like I'm hiding something? Because every time I ask anything, you sound angry, I said. I'm just trying to understand. She stood and walked past me. I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I watched her disappear into the bedroom, and something inside me tightened. I whispered, why does it feel like I'm the problem? No answer came back, only the sound of the door closing. The next day at work, Mark stopped by my desk. Man, you look rough, he said. Did you sleep at all? Not really, I said. Just thinking. About your wife? He asked. I nodded. She's distant. Defensive. I don't get it. Mark leaned against my desk. Listen, if something feels off, it usually is. Trust your gut. I don't want to jump to conclusions, I said. Just pay attention, he told me. That night, while I sat alone on the couch, my phone buzzed. It was Ava. The message read, you should talk to Emily. Something is going on. My heart dropped. I typed back, what do you mean? She replied, not here. Just be careful. I stared at her words until the screen dimmed. When Emily came home, I tried again. Where were you? She tossed her purse on the table. Working late. What? Ava messaged me. I said. Her head snapped up. Why is she texting you? Because she's worried, I said. She thinks something's going on. Emily scoffed. Ava needs to mind her own business. Then tell me the truth, I said. She glared at me. I'm going to shower. She walked away, leaving me with nothing but more questions. The next evening, she said she had another late meeting. Something in her tone made my chest tighten. After she left, I grabbed my jacket and followed at a distance. Please let me be wrong, I whispered. She didn't go to her office. She went to a hotel downtown. I parked across the street and watched her walk inside. After a minute, I followed. The lobby smelled like perfume and polished wood. I stayed behind a pillar as she met Michael near the lounge entrance. He smiled at her too warmly. She touched his arm too softly. They walked into the lounge together. I followed far enough to see but not be seen. They sat in a corner booth, closer than coworkers should be. I heard her laugh, the soft laugh she used to save for me. My stomach twisted. He leaned toward her. She didn't move away. I gripped the back of a chair to steady myself. My mind raced. Is this it? Is this what I've been missing? I watched her tuck her hair behind her ear, watched him whisper something that made her blush. My heart felt like it was being squeezed in a fist. I thought about walking over, flipping the table, screaming every thought tearing through my head. But instead, I stayed frozen. I needed the truth, not a fight. I needed to see who she became when she thought I wasn't looking. They talked for almost an hour. No papers, no laptops, no work, just them. Just the kind of closeness I hadn't felt from her in months. When she finally stood to leave, I slipped back toward the lobby. I didn't want her to see me. I didn't want her excuses. Outside, the night air slapped my face. I leaned against my car and whispered, I'm losing her. On the drive home, I kept hearing her laugh in my head. Every time I blinked, I saw them sitting together. By the time she walked into the house later that night, I already knew she would lie. She said, long meeting. Sorry I'm late. I nodded. Yeah, I said. I bet it was. I heard the door close a little after midnight, and I said, Emily, can you come here? We need to talk right now. She froze in the hallway, and I could hear her breath catch before she stepped into the living room. What now? She asked. I'm tired. I'm tired too, I said. Tired of being lied to. Where were you? Work, she said quickly. Meetings ran late. I shook my head. Stop. Just stop. I saw you at the hotel with Michael. I saw you laughing with him like nothing else in the world mattered. Her eyes filled fast. Noah, please. Just tell me the truth. She covered her face with her hands. I just needed someone to talk to. Someone who isn't your husband? I asked. You don't understand, she whispered. Then help me, I said. Explain it. Make it make sense. She dropped her hands and looked at me, defeated. He listens. He gets me. I don't have to pretend with him. The words hit like a punch. You have to pretend with me? No, she cried. I don't know. I'm confused. I didn't plan any of this. So you keep running to him because he gets you? She sank onto the couch. I'm lost, Noah. I sat across from her. Do you still love me? Her silence sliced through me. She opened her mouth, closed it, and looked away. That was my answer. I stood up. I can't breathe in here. Noah, wait, she said, reaching for me. I stepped back. I can't stay tonight. She broke then, crying, shaking, begging me not to leave, but her arms felt like chains and I needed air. I walked out before I shattered right in front of her. Outside, the night felt colder than usual. I called Ryan. Can I crash at your place? Yeah, he said immediately. Come over. When I got to his apartment, he opened the door and said, Jesus, man, what happened? I walked inside and sat on the edge of his couch. She said he understands her better than I do. Ryan sat next to me. That's messed up, Noah. I asked if she still loves me. She didn't answer. He let out a low whistle. That's your answer right there. I stared at the floor. What do I do? You have to decide if you're fighting for the marriage or for yourself, he said. Because right now, she's not fighting with you. She's fighting you. I rubbed my face. I thought we were strong. I thought we had something real. Maybe you did, he said. But people change. And sometimes they don't tell you until it's too late. I felt my throat tighten. Was I blind? Not blind, he said. Just hopeful. I leaned back and stared at the ceiling. I don't want to lose her. Ryan sighed. Then fight. But make sure she wants to be fought for. I didn't respond. I didn't know how. Grace stepped into the room then, sleepy but concerned. Hey, she said softly. Are you okay? No, I said honestly. She sat on the arm of the chair. Can I say something? Yeah, I whispered. Nothing you did caused this, she said. People don't wander because they're missing something. They wander because they're avoiding something inside themselves. Her words hit deeper than I expected. So what do I do? Take space, she said. Let her face herself without you cushioning the fall. Ryan nodded. She needs to feel the weight of what she's doing. I sighed. I don't know if I'm strong enough for this. Grace gave me a small smile. You're bleeding right now, Noah. But broken things don't bleed. You're still fighting, even if you don't see it. I closed my eyes. I just want clarity. Then stop protecting her from the truth, she said. Let it hurt. I swallowed hard. Okay, I'll try. Ryan patted my shoulder. Get some rest. Tomorrow's another battle. I nodded, even though my chest felt like it was collapsing. Yeah, I said quietly. Another battle. Ava texted me early in the morning. Can we meet? I need to tell you something in person. I stared at the message for a long minute before replying. Where? She suggested the small cafe near her office, the one with low lights and a constant hum of people. When I walked in, she waved me over with a stiff, worried look. I didn't know if I should get involved, she said the moment I Saturday, but after last night, I figured you deserve the truth. My stomach tightened. Just tell me. She leaned forward. I overheard things at work. Michael's been flirting with Emily for months. I felt the air leave my lungs. Flirting how? You know how he is, she said. Loud. Obvious. He talks about her like she's already his. My jaw clenched. And Emily? Ava hesitated. She didn't tell him to stop. The words struck harder than I expected. She encouraged it? No, she said quickly. Not encouraged. But she didn't shut it down either. And people noticed. There's been gossip about their chemistry. I rubbed my forehead. Jesus. I wanted to tell you before, she said. But I didn't have proof. And I didn't want to hurt you if it was nothing. But it's not nothing. I heard him telling someone that she needs a real man who listens. My stomach twisted. So he thinks he's that man. Yeah, she whispered. I sat back, trying to steady myself. Thank you for telling me. Ava reached across the table and touched my hand briefly. Noah, whatever happened, you didn't cause this. I nodded, though it felt like my insides were collapsing. I need to grab some clothes from the house. Then I guess I'll figure out the rest. Text me if you need anything, she said. I told her I would, though I wasn't sure what I needed anymore. When I got home, the first thing I heard was Emily's voice, sharp, frantic, trembling. I paused in the hallway. Michael, stop, she said. I told you I need space. I froze. No, she continued, frustration rising. I can't do this anymore. I said that already. Silence. Then her voice again, quieter but strained. Because he deserves better than this. And I'm not. I'm not choosing anything right now. I just need time. Another silence. Then a broken exhale. Please stop calling me. Please. She hung up with a shaky breath. I stepped forward then, unable to stay hidden any longer. Who was that? She spun around, eyes wide, terrified. Noah, I didn't know you were here. I heard everything, I said, though my voice barely sounded like mine. Her hands trembled. I wasn't going to see him. I swear. I told him to leave me alone. And before, I asked, before you decided you suddenly needed space? Her face crumpled. I messed up. I waited, silently begging her to say something real this time. She swallowed hard. I didn't cheat. I swear I didn't. But I let things go somewhere they shouldn't have. I let him get too close because I liked how he made me feel. And I knew it was wrong. I felt the floor tilt beneath me. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want to face what it meant, she whispered. And I didn't want to see the look you're giving me right now. I took a step back, the weight of her confession crushing my chest. You knew this would break me. She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. I know. I'm so sorry. I shook my head. Sorry doesn't undo it. No, she said, voice cracking. But I swear I'm ending it. All of it. I didn't respond. I couldn't. Because the truth was already written in her eyes, long before she said a word. She didn't cross the physical line, but she crossed every emotional one that mattered. And she knew it. I finally forced myself to breathe. I'm just here for my clothes. The fear in her face deepened, but I walked past her anyway, the truth echoing louder than anything either of us could say. When I finally told Emily I needed time away, her face felt like I'd slapped her. "You're leaving?" she whispered. "I'm stepping back," I said. "I need space to think, and you need space to figure out what you actually want." She reached for me, but I moved away. "Noah, please. Don't do this." "I have to," I said. "For both of us." I didn't wait for her reply. I packed a bag and walked out before the weight of her tears pulled me back into something I wasn't sure I could survive again. At Ryan's place, he tossed me a pillow and said, "You can stay as long as you need, man." "Thanks," I said, setting my bag down. "I just can't breathe in that house right now." Grace leaned over the couch. "You look like you haven't slept in days." "I haven't," I admitted. "Then you're starting over tonight," she said. "Sleep, eat, and tomorrow you get up and choose one thing that makes you feel like you again." I exhaled shakily. "I don't even know who that is anymore." Ryan clapped my shoulder. "Then we'll figure it out." The next morning, he shoved a protein shake into my hand. "Drink. You look like sadness personified." I snorted. "That's harsh." "True though," he said. "You need structure, routine, something to build on." I took a sip. "Maybe, not maybe," he said. "Definitely." That day at work, Mark found me in the break room staring into my coffee like it owed me answers. "You look like hell," he said. "Everyone keeps saying that." I muttered. He raised an eyebrow. "Because you do. Want to tell me what's going on?" "Not really," I said, "but thanks." He nodded like he understood anyway. "Well, if you're looking for a distraction, we're starting a new project. Big one. Could use someone who actually cares about the work." "A distraction sounds good," I said. "Then join us. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., bring a brain and the willingness to argue." I gave a weak laugh. "I can do that." That night, Emily called, then texted, then called again. "Please talk to me. I'm sorry. I miss you." I stared at the messages until Ryan walked past and said, "Don't answer unless you want to." "I don't know what I want," I said. "Then wait until you do." I put the phone face down and let the silence settle inside me. The next few days became a strange kind of rhythm. Work, gym with Ryan, long talks with Grace about boundaries and self-worth, late nights staring at the ceiling and realizing how long I'd been shrinking myself to hold my marriage together. Mark kept pushing me at work. "You have good ideas," he said during a meeting. "Stop hiding them." "I'm not hiding," I said. He smirked. "You're recovering. There's a difference. Keep going." For the first time in weeks, I felt something like pride flicker in my chest. Emily didn't stop trying. She showed up outside Ryan's building 3 days later. I saw her through the window before she knocked. Ryan sighed. "You want me to send her away?" "No," I said. "I'll talk." When I opened the door, Emily looked exhausted. Red-rimmed eyes, messy hair, the kind of slump that came from heavy guilt. "Noah," she breathed. "Please, can we talk?" "We can," I said, stepping outside. "But I'm not coming back tonight." She flinched. "I know. I need you to understand I'm trying." "I've heard a lot of trying," I said. "I need something different now." She swallowed hard. "What do you need?" "Actions," I said. "Not tears. Not promises you break the next day. Real change." Her chin trembled. "I can do that." "Then start," I said, "because I'm not chasing you anymore." Her eyes filled instantly. "I never wanted you to feel like that." "You didn't see it," I said quietly. "But I did. Every day." She pressed her hand to her chest, like she was physically hurting. Are you done with me?" "I don't know," I said honestly. "But I'm done bleeding for something I'm not sure you even want." Tears slid down her face, but I didn't move toward her this time. For once, she was the one reaching, and I was the one choosing. "I'm rebuilding myself," I said. "If you want to be part of my life again, you rebuild too." She nodded slowly, devastated. "Okay." I turned away before her pain could become mine again. This time, the armor forming around me felt like survival, not punishment. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't chasing anything. I was choosing me. I heard about the chaos at Emily's office before she even called me. Ryan walked into the living room holding his phone and said, "Dude, you might want to sit down." I frowned. "Why? What now?" "Michael's wife found the dinner photo," he said. "The one Emily posted." My stomach tightened. And she stormed into their office. Full scene. People saw everything. I rubbed my face. Great. More drama. That's not all, Ryan added. HR got involved. Michael's suspended. I let out a slow breath. Karma moves fast when it wants to. Ryan gave me a careful look. How do you feel? I don't know, I said. Relieved? Angry? Tired? All of it. Before he could answer, my phone buzzed nonstop. 3 calls, then a stream of messages. Ryan glanced at the screen. Let me guess. Emily. Yeah, I said. You going to answer? I swallowed. I guess I should. When I finally picked up, her voice exploded through the speaker. Noah, please, I need you, she said, crying hard. Everything is falling apart. What happened? I asked, even though I already knew. Michael's wife showed up, she sobbed. She yelled at me in front of everyone. People stared. HR questioned me for an hour. They think I crossed lines. I might get written up or worse. I leaned back on the couch. That sounds messy. It is, she cried. It's horrible. Everyone is talking about me. They keep calling me his. Emily, I said softly, breathe. She sucked in a shaky breath. I didn't cheat. I swear I didn't cheat. I know, I said, but you let it get close enough. She went silent. Then, in a small voice, she whispered, Can I come over? I didn't answer right away. Noah, she begged. Please. Okay, I said finally. Come by. She arrived 20 minutes later, shaking as she stepped inside. Her eyes were swollen. Her voice was thin. I can't do this alone, she said. I feel like the whole world hates me. Sit, I said, pointing to the couch. She sat and covered her face. I'm so sorry. I know you told me something like this would happen, and I didn't listen. It's not about being right, I said. It's about what happens when you ignore boundaries. She looked up at me with wet eyes. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I know, I said, but it still happened. She let out a broken laugh. Everyone at work keeps whispering. They think I'm having an affair. They think I threw my marriage away for attention. I didn't react. I just watched her fall apart. She wiped her nose. Do you hate me? No, I said truthfully. I don't. She stared at me like she didn't expect that answer. Then why do you sound so far away? Because I'm not broken this time, I said. I already did my breaking. Her lips trembled. I don't want to lose you. You lost pieces of me long before this, I said. You just didn't notice. She shook her head quickly. I notice now. I see everything now. Maybe, I said, but it doesn't erase what happened. She leaned forward. Do you still love me? I hesitated, but not because I didn't know the answer. I hesitated because the answer didn't fix anything. Yes, I said. I still love you. Hope flickered in her eyes. Then we can fix this. Emily, I said quietly, love isn't the problem. She froze. Then what is? Respect, I said. Trust. The feeling that I matter. The feeling that you choose me even when no one's watching. She stared at me like her heart was cracking open. Can we get that back? I don't know, I said. I want to, but wanting isn't enough anymore. She covered her mouth as another sob broke out. Please don't give up on me. I'm not giving up, I said, but I'm not carrying this alone anymore. If we rebuild, it has to be both of us. She nodded weakly. I'll do whatever it takes. I hope so, I said, because karma already hit the office. Now we deal with what's left of us. She reached for my hand, but I didn't take hers right away. For the first time, I wasn't the one begging, and she wasn't the one being chased. I met Emily at the small park near our old apartment, the place where we used to sit on the swings and talk about our dreams. She was already waiting on the bench, twisting her fingers, eyes full of hope and fear. Thank you for coming, she said. I nodded and sat beside her, keeping a little distance. I felt calm, almost too calm, like my heart had already made the decision before I arrived. She leaned toward me and whispered, I'm ready to fix everything. I'll go to counseling, I'll set boundaries, I'll do whatever you need. Her voice trembled, but her hands reached for mine like they still had the right. I pulled back gently. Emily, I hear you, I said, but something changed inside me. I don't feel the same connection anymore. I don't feel the same version of myself when I'm with you. She shook her head quickly. No, please don't say that. We can fix it. I swear I'll do better. Hearing her plead should have cracked me, but instead it made me realize how far I drifted. Emily, I said softly, I'm not angry anymore. That's the thing. I'm not yelling. I'm not breaking. I'm just Done with hurting myself, trying to keep us alive. She grabbed the edge of the bench like she needed something to hold her to the moment. Are you saying you're leaving me? She whispered. I took a long breath. I'm saying the marriage isn't working, I replied. And I think we both know it hasn't worked for a long time. She shook her head again, tears shooting down her cheeks. But I love you. Doesn't that matter? I love you too, I said. And her eyes lit like she had a chance, but I continued, but love can't carry something that keeps collapsing. She stared at me like she didn't understand the words. I kept waiting for you to choose me, I said. And you kept waiting for me to stop asking you to. She blinked fast. Please don't end this. I can change. I'll prove it. I shook my head. It's not about proving anything anymore. It's about peace. And I don't have peace with you. Not now. She reached for me again, but I leaned back. Emily, I'm ending the marriage. The words hung between us like cold air. She let out a choked cry and covered her mouth. Noah, please don't do this. I'm begging you. I'm not doing this to punish you, I said. I'm doing it because staying would hurt us both more. She shook her head violently. No, staying gives us a chance. We can rebuild. I'll fight this time. I sighed. I believe you want to fight now. But I spent years fighting alone, and I don't have any pieces left to give. I'm choosing myself for once, and I need you to let me. She broke into loud sobs, the kind that tore through the quiet park. I don't know who I am without you, she said. I swallowed. Then maybe this is your moment to find out. She reached for my shirt. Don't walk away. Please. I stood up slowly. I'm not walking away from you. I'm walking toward myself. She sobbed harder, but I didn't sit back down. She whispered, Can't we try one more time? I looked at her, really looked, and saw the woman I once loved and the woman who hurt me living in the same broken expression. Trying isn't the issue, I said. It's that I stopped feeling safe with you. I stopped trusting you to choose us when it mattered. She wiped her face. I can earn that back. I shook my head. I'm not asking you to. I'm letting go. She reached toward me one last time. If you walk away now, is this really the end? I felt the final weight lift from my chest. It's the beginning, I said. Just not for us. She cried again, softer now, almost defeated. I turned toward the path leading out of the park. Take care of yourself, Emily. She called my name once, but I kept walking. For the first time in years, I wasn't invisible to myself anymore.